By far the hardest part of getting a separation or divorce is not really like the divorce itself, but it is definitely co-parenting. And that is such a challenge. And this is probably why you're at this podcast, because I am sharing you guys my real-time stories of my co-parenting situation right now. And I have to warn you, it's not pretty, but this is co-parenting unplugged. So I'm going to give you the down and dirty of my thoughts. On episode 1, I was sharing to you guys how my ex started dating again in that situation. And I have to tell you, there has been a lot of development regarding that situation since then. And it's been highly stressful and emotional. But I'm going to put that on the back burner a little bit. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what happens when one parent has so much contempt for the other parent. It makes co-parenting super hard. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my situation. Basically, I never cheated on him. I want to make sure that's very clear. We're basically not together because we're just different people and we grew apart. Now, that is the really kosher way of saying it. Obviously, there has been a lot of things that happened between then. We had a lot of fights. We had a lot of arguments. We said a lot of mean things to each other. But at the end of the day, he felt super rejected by me. And although he does not want to admit it, I feel like a lot of the things that he does due to the rejection is due to his childhood trauma. I've openly voiced to him that I know that I hurt him and that I still think he's a good person and all I want to do is just move forward and be better co-parents. But every time that we talk, he wants to bring up all the different ways that I've hurt him in the past. And I swear, like, we have this conversation like every single time that we have like a serious conversation. So lately I've been thinking, okay, what is it I can do better? How I can react better to kind of help him through that situation, because it's something that he repeats all the time. So today I asked him, hey, when you're going through that, how would you like me to react? What is the ideal reaction you would like me to have? And he says, I want you to feel remorse, of which I told him that I have said several times, I understand that I hurt you and that sucks that you're hurting. And then he basically says that it did not make him feel better. It does not make him feel better. There's nothing I can do. So my thing is, if it doesn't make you feel better to talk about it to me, to vent about it to me, to tell me how much you hate me for it, and if my reaction to it doesn't please you, why do we keep talking about it? I just keep thinking if I let him vent it out, that he'll feel better. But I started to realize that I can't be in charge of his healing. I might be the one that have caused the pain, but his hate and contempt in his heart, it can only be resolved by him. Sometimes in situations like this, I think that people only concentrate on the bad things. Like recently he told me that he hasn't been happy for like 5 years, ever since like our youngest is like born or something like that. But it's untrue, because a lot of the times when I think of those years, there were a lot of pockets of happiness. So at the end of the day, you really just have to let yourself off the hook, whether it's your fault or not. Their healing can only be done by them. And the unfortunate part is they don't realize that by them acting a certain way or having so much hate in their heart, it actually affects the kids because they feel it. And when I say I just want to have a better co-parenting relationship, they don't want to hear it because they don't want a relationship with you at all. But it's impossible because you guys have kids together and they're still little. The arrangement we have is we pretty much see each other almost every other day. That's a lot of time for interaction. And I guess I have to say that I don't understand how anybody could be happy when they hold that kind of weight in their heart. But then again, it's not for me to understand. It's not my healing journey. I can't make him just heal on a whim. And I have to tell you that we basically, tried to make it work on and off for about 3 years. So there was times we were separated. There was times we were together. I remember the first time us being separated, it took about a year for him to kind of mellow out a little bit. I actually kind of thought we were pretty in a good place. Like I felt like I could come to him and talk to him about things about the kids, not it being too weird. I could invite him to things, it not being too weird. But he revealed to me today that he was not okay. So I guess my advice to you is that if you are the parent that is currently wanting a better co-parenting relationship, but the other person does not, all you can do on your side is just prepare your kids. Personally, for me, I do talk to my kids about how I feel about certain situations. I don't tell them everything, obviously. And I only do this so that way I can prepare them for when they're not with me. And right now, I think I'm going to be in the mentality of maybe just like faking it till I make it, just pretending everything's okay, just being extra nice to him if I can, try to not ruffle any feathers. because I'm tired of my kids feeling like we don't get along. It really affects them. And while I can't do anything on their dad's side to make him feel like I'm out to get him, I can do something on my side for them. So just try to look at it that way. What can you do on your side to better their situation, even if you can't control what's happening on the other side? And as long as the other person is not a total and complete piece of shit, I feel usually that time heals all wounds. Most wounds. Thanks for listening to Co-Parenting Unplugged. Talk to you next time. Bye.